Good morning and welcome to For the District, the podcast for Jackson Madison County Schools. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for JMCSS. Superintendent Dr. Marlon King and our school board continue to move forward with the unified purpose to complete capital improvements scheduled in the Community Unity Project. Now, those improvements include Malee System Innovation Center, which opened in August, a multi-purpose artificial turf field and track and field facility adjacent to historic Omen Arena. That's set to open next school year. And, drum roll, the construction of a pre-K-8 school to replace Pope School in the northwest corner of Madison County. And it's been standing there, I think, since its current location since 1949. I'll get some correction there here in a moment. The new Pope School is scheduled to open in August, and that is where we find the theme of today's episode. Tracey Vowell, principal of Pope School, joins us to discuss the move to the new campus. Also, school counselors Ebony, Pugh, and Kaitlyn Tidwell. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Now, I got to ask, where is my sweater? Now, they're in sweatshirts. If you're listening on the radio, you can't see this, but it's a black sweatshirt. It's white letters in red trim, and then there's like the sports stripe behind the Panther. That's really cool. I like that, Principal Val.
Thank you. We will remember to bring that the next time we come to visit.
See what I did. Okay, hey, listen. I have a game plan. I have a script, and I ask all our guests the same question to kind of break the ice. So all you all are educators. You've been in education quite a while, but did you always know you wanted to be an educator? And so, Ms. Val, we'll start with you.
I don't know if I always knew, but I do remember teaching, my baby dolls when I was younger, as well as my sister, neighborhood kids, and went on, as a part-time job early on to teach cheer and dance and, gymnastics. However, I actually started off in communications, as we've talked about before, Greg. I thought that I wanted to be a communications major, but then things changed, and that calling just spoke out to me to be an educator.
Shout out to UT Martin, real quick.
Yes. Go UTM.
Okay. Miss Pugh, Ebony Pugh, you're a school counselor. Did you always know you wanted to be an educator?
I did not always want to be an educator. My mom was an educator for years and years, a special education teacher in Hardeman County school system. And she felt like I always wanted to be an educator. She tried to instill that in us, go to school, become a teacher. You'll find that it's very rewarding. And I never wanted to be a teacher. I never had any desire. I actually wanted to be a physical therapist. I knew that I wanted to be in a profession to help people. And in my mind, it was physical therapy and not teaching. But as things changed when I was in college and I started my rotation at the hospital in college, I called my parents, and I'll never forget, and I said, Mom, I don't want to be a physical therapist. And she said, see, I told you want to be a teacher, don't you? And I told her, I don't know. So I ended up moving back home to Hardeman County after I graduated from MTSU. And I lived with my parents for a while, and my mom said, I'm going to see if I can get you a job as an educational assistant. And working there, I thought to myself, oh, my mom was right. I actually like working at a school, and I do see that I am still in a helping profession to help people. So that's how I became an educator.
School counselor Kaitlyn Tidwell, did you always know you wanted to be an educator?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I tell people that education found me. I did not find education.
Okay.
All of my family is in the medical field, and so I kind of always say that I'm the black sheep of the family. But I will say that my father always knew, and he kind of always pushed me in that direction. But I was at Jackson State as a nutrition major, and with nutrition, you have to take math and science. And Ms. Tidwell is not the best at math and science, I must say. And so it didn't take me long. I was about into my first full year and did the biology classes and did the really difficult math classes, and my dad was just kind of shaking his head like, yeah, not for you, right? And I was like, and if you know me, I'm very stubborn, and I was not going to let him have that benefit to agreeing, but I just loved my literature classes and actually started off as an English teacher, and went on to switching my major to English, and then did that for a while, was an English teacher, and then transformed over to the counseling realm.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. We are here with Tracey Vowell, principal of Pope School, along with Pope School counselors Ebony, Pugh, and Kaitlyn Tidwell. We'll talk about the new Pope School in just a moment, but to kind of bring that first question around, our career fair will be coming up in April. So as folks listen to you all speak, hopefully someone will be inspired potentially to bring out that resume to the career fair and look into joining the Jackson-Madison County School System. So when you look at this, first of all, and if you're on the radio, I'm holding a small banner, and it has coming soon, opening 2025-2026 school year, Pope Elementary School Pre-K 8, Jackson-Madison County School System. And first of all, Principal Val, how cool is it to look at this architectural design, but then know for the last several days you've been passing by the actual building that is so close to being complete?
It's amazing. It is truly surreal. I know that there has been discussion of a new school in the northwest part of our county for many, many years, for decades. Mm-hmm. And to truly see that vision coming to reality is simply amazing. Mm-hmm. I've had the experience also to visit inside the school building several times, and I hope that we'll be able to talk about that a little later. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely going to be a unique place for all of the Pope School community, and it's just so exciting. We're planning right now. We have multiple committees planning so many different things to make things the best we can be. Of course, there's a lot of unknown. However, we find excitement and opportunity in what can be. And I always tell our staff the sky's the limit. Mm-hmm. And we're going to truly use our innovativeness and our creativity to not keep things the same old, or the same as, but to truly strive to keep our values and who we are, but yet afford many, many opportunities for our children and for our staff and our school community. We are all so excited. We're just giddy, really, Greg.
Giddy. There's the word of the day for the folks at Pope School. We're visiting with Tracey Vowell. She's principal of Pope School. Also, school counselors Ebony Pugh and Kaitlyn Tidwell joining us to talk about the opening of the new Pope campus that will open in August, but also they're having people use the term open house, but you're going to have a closing house at the current building. And I'm getting the wrap from our producer. We will get into that on the other side of the break. This is For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools on JJ 97.7 FM.
Hey, guess what? We get to pick our clubs tomorrow at school. What should I pick?
What about picking 4-H?
That sounds like fun, but maybe I'll pick choir club or STEM club or nursing club or photography club.
You could say my kids are excited over all the options and opportunities offered by Jackson-Madison County Schools. Our public schools offer more than 100 different clubs and activities for students.
Wait, I know. Ukulele club.
Oh boy, maybe let's stick to art or debate.
For options and opportunities, tuition free, choose Jackson-Madison County Schools.
Welcome back to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information, and I am joined by three giddy Pope School employees. Tracey Vowell is the principal of Pope School, and joining her, school counselors Ebony Pugh and Kaitlyn Tidwell. Miss Vowell, to call the new Pope School a school almost sounds like an understatement. I had the pleasure of being out there, I guess it's been a few months ago now. It is a massive campus is what it is. It's impressive. Kind of put into words what's being constructed out there.
It truly is. It's a true campus, and it's going to be beautiful. We currently share playgrounds and do what we can do regarding scheduling for the children. We're going to have 3 playgrounds on the new campus, as well as playing fields in the back. The campus is very large. I know that one of the questions are parents and school community will want to know is what about the traffic? What about the car riders? Plan is in place for car riders, and I do believe it will alleviate much of the congestion that we have now. There are so many unique features on the new campus. Talking with others regarding the new campus actually started during the pandemic. We had many focus groups in breakout sessions through many Zoom meetings, virtual and then later in-person meetings to talk about what would be important for this new school and this new campus. It is going to be, in my opinion, state of the art. Much natural lighting, beautiful spaces and features, and every element of that building is personalized in a way that is going to promote student and staff ownership. And I just can't say enough about the beautiful spaces, and the art rooms are going to be amazing. We have 2 art rooms that actually open up to the outside with concrete outside areas so that art class can be extended to the outdoors. Those areas are covered. The library is what you see when you ride back the front face of the school. Many people think that that's the front entrance,
Right.
but it is not. That is the library, and it is simply one of the most amazing spaces that I've seen, and I just can only imagine how beautiful it's going to be. That library also has some outdoor spaces, so the librarian and teachers will be able to extend the love of literacy to the outdoors.
That is awesome. Tracey Vowell is principal of Pope School. We're joined also by school counselors Ebony Pugh and Kaitlyn Tidwell. So there's this dynamic. Pope is very much a family. And how do you preserve that family feeling when you move into the new space? Now, the cool thing about that is, although that is on the shoulders of the leader, you work with a team. So Ms. Pugh and Ms. Tidwell, first of all, kind of explain for people the vibe or the atmosphere currently at Pope School.
So when we talk about the current atmosphere at Pope School, one of the things that I love the most is the generations of families that have attended Pope. I know when you started this segment, we talked about Pope being in the current location since 1949, and we have teachers who not only are teachers there in the building that have been there forever, but they attended Pope School as students. We have families who have attended Pope School as students, and now they have children there. So when we talk about moving to the new school and the vibe at the current school, it will be great to see that transition, and not only to bring in some of those old traditions that we currently have, but to start some new ones, because some of those people are the same people that love Pope currently.
You talk about old traditions that you will continue. Please tell me you're going to continue the student ambassadors.
Oh yeah, that's one of like the highlights of our school, and it's something that our younger grades are constantly asking Miss Pugh and I. I was like, are we going to get a 5th grade leadership ambassador team? Are we going to get a 4th grade leadership ambassador team? And it brings joy to us because they're taking ownership in their school, and they're taking pride in leadership roles, and they see the importance of those skills. And one of the things that we love is that they see a need for it, and they want to step up, and they're just really being innovative with their ideas and wanting to sow purpose back into their school community.
Ebony Pugh and Kaitlyn Tidwell, school counselors at Pope School. Principal Vowell, you will now be able to offer sports. Because
Yes.
I think, right now, students leave Pope after the 5th grade?
They have the 6th grade option as well, so after 6th grade.
But
yes.
now in this new setup, the students can be at Pope from pre-K all the way to 8th grade, correct?
Absolutely.
Talk about that dynamic and what that provides for a child or a family.
When I think about it from the perspective of a parent, it would offer me great comfort to know that my child had that type of stability in one location for that amount of time. Our school has amazing teachers. We pride ourselves in that and the quality of instruction. And also, I think it allows further engagement with the school community because not only are the children a part of our school, the parents are. And when we think about athletics, we're so excited. We plan to have every athletic team that the other middle schools in Jackson, Madison County have. We're already planning, so planning is in the works. And with what we've been doing with elementary sports, I think that will only enhance and add to the future of our middle school sports programs. And down the line, of course, it may not happen exactly next year, but down the line, we also are looking at having just foundational sports in an intramural fashion within our own school to simply encourage and promote sports. And not only sports, but we also are very much about fine arts. We're looking at the future opportunities in all areas of fine arts. So, it definitely takes our group, and we have outside and inside volunteers of the staff because we have multiple committees trying to plan to be ready and offer everything that we can when we get to our new area.
You talk about offerings. Ms. Pugh and Ms. Tidwell as school counselors does a big new bright space kind of expand some options for you all when you think about maybe what you're able to offer on a child's schedule. Is that something, has that been part of the conversation, I guess, this brainstorming or dreaming big?
Definitely part of the brainstorming and dreaming big. Right now, we pride ourselves at Pope. For the second year in a row, we were a reward school, and we want to take some of those traditions. We want to continue, that model as far as academics. As far as offerings set in stone, we don't know at this time, but when we talk about those offerings in the brainstorming process of it, we talk about fine arts offerings. We talk about some of those academic offerings because we will have 7th and 8th grade students in our building as well as the pre-K. So we do want to take some of those traditions over to the school. We have very rigorous classes at Pope currently. Our teachers are wonderful. We are teaching a multitude of students from different backgrounds, from different cultures. We are a very diverse population, even as far as cultures, but also with our learners. And I feel like when we move to the new school, yes, we will be bigger, but we'll still have some of those traditions of excellence in our academics.
When we get back from this commercial break, we talked about the new concept, but we want to talk about a little bit of the history, thanks to people like Dr. Ken Newman, who have really kind of introduced us to the history. We want to get into that to give folks a greater appreciation of this milestone of building a new school for Pope. We're visiting with Tracey Vowell, principal of Pope School, along with school counselors Ebony Pugh and Kaitlyn Tidwell. This is For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson Madison County Schools. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Your school, your choice. Open enrollment with Jackson Madison County Schools makes it possible. Register for unique school options like Madison Academic, Community Montessori, and the Middle School Academic Academy at Northeast. Visit jmcss.org before the deadline to apply. Welcome back to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson Madison County Schools. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for JMCSS. This morning we are visiting with Tracey Vowell. She's principal of Pope School, along with school counselors Ebony Pugh and Kaitlyn Tidwell. Pope School will open a brand new campus in August. And Principal Vowell, I think to fully appreciate this conversation, we do need to provide folks with some context. Dr. King, when he was interviewing for the job and accepting the job, he went into the Jackson Summit archives to study the history of the school system. And so for someone like Dr. King, he was able to learn about the long decades conversation of building a new pope. I mean, it's it's really been a community conversation for at least 30 years, and that's probably underestimating. But you have some files here to help us go back a little further in the history books.
Yes. So today I brought an old photograph of the school that was actually established in 1909.
Wow.
I found that when I started at Pope, and I found that fascinating. And from what I understand, it was across the street from our current location. It burnt in 1919, according to another record that I found in the office there. There was a new school built in 1924, a second story added, and then the new Pope School, the oldest part of our building that is on our campus was constructed in 1949.
Wow.
Pope has been just a school in our community for many, many, many years, and it holds such special memories for others. It has been everything from a high school to, a K through 6 school and so many other things in between. And we look forward to carrying on the traditions in the new building.
And it's been cool to learn about the history. Jackson-Madison County recently celebrated bicentennial a year or two ago, and folks like Dr. Ken Newman were educating the community on not just Pope School, but education in Madison County in general. And so to think about, the Pope School we have currently was once the brand new school, and it's had a lot of great memories there, and it's now time to make new memories. And so you all are tasked with doing that. So that is really cool to think about. So the new campus located near the corner of Ashport Road and Pleasant Plains. Thinking about many of the middle schools that are able to offer green power racing and robotics, I think it's exciting that now that you'll have a bigger space, you'll be able to offer many of the same opportunities and more.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm sure that's something that makes you all excited.
It does. We started our first robotics team this year with our elementary children, and yes, you are correct. We did not have the space a year. I guess it was about a year ago to construct the car for green power, and next year we will. And I would like to announce, if it's okay, Greg, about our closing house.
Hey, wait, is this breaking news?
The closing
We'll say it
house
is. Go right ahead.
is not an open house,
Okay.
but just speaking to anyone who ever went to Pope, worked at Pope, cares about Pope. We know we have so many people in our community and outside of who've moved out who really care about our school. We wanted to truly have a closing house so that people could come and walk down memory lane one last time. We plan to have that along with much memorabilia on May the 6th from 4 to 6. And we just want to get that word out so that others will come and join us and walk down memory lane. Right now, every week, we put out a Throwback Thursday on X to encourage our Pope School community members, past and present, to send in those old school photos. And we're having a lot of fun with it, and just hope that other people will get involved. You can email lbwalker@jmcss.org to send in your photos. It's really a lot of fun to see those old pictures and memories coming back into us.
So what will it be like for you moving in? I don't know if have you opened a new school before?
Actually, yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I have a unique experience in my years of administration. This will actually be the 4th school that I've been a part of opening. So I do have some experience with that, 2 being new buildings, new construction, and then 2 being schools that actually changed, perhaps from an elementary to a middle school, or an elementary to an intermediate school.
Because what I would imagine is when it comes to opening a new space, you feel like, hey, I'm ready. We've planned everything. And then you get to that first week and you're like, oh, well, we didn't think about that.
Yeah, we didn't think about that. Yes.
So I think it's cool that you have that in your context, in your background.
Yes, and everything won't be perfect. I know that. But it is. It's a unique background of experience. I'm very grateful to have it. But just the other day, in walking at on the new campus in the upstairs where the middle school will be housed, it occurred to me that we will definitely need to revisit every procedure that we have to make sure that we address, of course, safety and security first, but to make sure that we address what that needs to look like for the different age groups.
And the Pope culture.
Yes, yes.
That Pope Panther culture. So school counselors, as you all think about moving to a new space, what type of exciting things come to mind? I know classes, yes, we talked about that, but when you say you'll now get to have a football team or a basketball team, why do these extracurricular opportunities matter?
I think it gets Miss Pugh and I excited because we have the secondary background, and so it gets us excited because we get to go back to those things, and we get to get the kids excited about those things, and we really get to take our school pride and our school culture to the next level because what they know right now is one tradition that we have right now is we have a quarterly awards day. And so right now we're teaching them school spirit of them having to come up with their own class cheer and chant. And we have a spirit stick award contest amongst the grade levels.
Really?
And so whoever comes up with the most creative cheer, and they battle with the different classes. And so they take so much pride and competition even between that. And just explaining that to them and explaining pep club and student section and just the magnitude of them getting to experience that gets us excited. And as a former cheer coach, and I know that Miss Pugh used to be a former cheer coach as well, just getting them excited about taking ownership in their teams and getting excited about their peers, being excited about going to games and cheering one another on. And it's just going to bring another sense of tradition and culture and just being excited for one another and partnering and linking arms with one another.
Miss Pugh make the connection. She talks about the opportunities and the excitement and the spirit. Talk about that connection to academics and that maybe being the motivation some students need to work a little bit harder, and instead of riding on a C, working harder for that B. Talk about that correlation.
Well, one of the things that Ms. Tidwell just mentioned was our quarterly awards day. And that's one of the things that we try to use as an incentive for students because maybe you are a student that is a C student, but coming to awards day and you're seeing those awards, a lot of our students come up to us in guidance activity. What do I have to do? Show me what I need to do to get to the next level, or working with their teachers on their benchmarks. I know that I'm right here right now. What do I need to do to show growth? And it's just so exciting and rewarding for us to have those conversations with students because they're excited. They want to do well. Some of them, they're trying their best, but some of them know, I'm right here. What is the extra mile that I can take? And I know she mentioned just being in there with the quarterly awards and even doing the cheers and all of those things. Not only are we doing that with our students to get them excited about the new school, but just to get them excited about the school in general.
Yes.
To work together and learn how to work together. Or when they're doing their cheer off or their battles, how to work with someone when they are on a different team.
Yes.
How to be respectful to those students. So I feel like showing them all those things and trying to teach them those things has been very rewarding for us, but it's also been beneficial to the students in helping their overall growth academically, athletically, and everything that they do at Pope School.
I think what's cool to hear you talk, and you talk about the students asking, what can I do to be better? It's reminiscent of many of the things we hear every week in the professional development among principals. Yes. So to hear that students are kind of seeing this scoreboard type of situation is exciting. It's cool. I'm reminded that the folks at Pope Elementary are doing great things, but then also we have many, many schools throughout the Jackson-Madison County school system who are encouraging students and preparing tomorrow's leaders. So we want to thank Principal Tracey Vowell of Pope School and school counselors Ebony, Pugh, and Kaitlyn Tidwell. If you are new to the podcast, a reminder, you can check out this episode and previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and radio731.com. Hey, we hope you have a great Sunday, an excellent week, and we'll see you next time.